Alrighty, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. All right, guys. So we're gonna actually start off not with the TA, but we're gonna come just remind ourselves what is going on tomorrow. All right, guys. We have a crap ton of Fed speakers going on tomorrow, so I'm just saying these are going to be moving the markets, almost guaranteed. That I'm not going to say which one's going to say something that could either, make the market get extremely euphoric or, very fearful. All right. I don't know who's going to do it, but typically we see Fed speakers pump or, they either ease the markets or they send everybody back into fear mode. So, we have that, and then we also have PC coming out on Friday. Now, PC was the thing that I was saying, hey, if you're rallying into that thing, then, all right, then it's setting up to do something there, all right, to dump into it, or dump on it. But yeah, that's what I said, that this was going to be the big market mover of the week. It's going to be PC, and then we have, after that, after PC, we have these Fed speakers coming out, all right, and Waller specifically, I know he is a hawk. But we already went over this in the weekly update. We went over here and matched these guys up, and we were seeing who's hawk, who's dove. I think we saw one dovish speaker the whole week, and then we had the rest being hawk. So whatever this PC number comes in at, guys, these guys are going to exacerbate that. So yeah, whatever the initial reaction is, they are probably going to, if you get a super hot PC, well, these guys are going to come out saying, hey, guys, we got to hike this stuff up, which actually, speaking of hiking up, all right, let's come over here to the 2-year, all right? So the 2-year is doing a thing, guys. Now, like, we really are in the same exact spot when we were over here when Powell was taking his victory lap, right? At first, the bond market was saying, hey, rate cuts, now. But I think Jerome calmed down the markets. Come over here to the fear and greed index. I'm gonna stop showing this thing when it's when it's over here in the neutral range. But anytime it's over on one of these sides, I mean, guys, I'm gonna continuously bring it up. All right, the crowd is continuously wrong. There's no reason to not continuously remind ourselves what the crowd is thinking. All right, and the crowd is thinking right now that they are, like you see, all right, we were at extreme fear over here. And now we are creeping back up towards that neutral zone, all right, which leaves room for things to happen, all right, things to go down. So now let's get into the TA, all right? So we're going to start here with the daily time frame, and then we're going to go over the little time frames and the smaller time frame. So let's just make that look pretty for you guys right there. Let's go like that. And let's get popping. Okay, so you broke out from this descending broadening wedge, guys. I am not putting a target on the board. I really do think this is fishy price action. I told you guys not too long ago that, hey, guys, I'm looking for either IWM to have this little bounce here, and then you're going to have a bigger move lower, or you're going to see a little sell, and then you have a decent-sized move higher. Well, guess what, guys? So far, all right, I think it is looking like, hey, all right, you see how IWM is creeping back up here? I think, like, we're getting that scenario where you get that little bounce there, and then you have the decent-sized sell, all right? And then I actually made this, I made those scenarios there. We had two scenarios there, all right? I made those before, or I came up with them. I guess I didn't make anything. But I came up with them. Is that making sense? It's an idea, okay? It is an idea. I made those before I saw what I was seeing over here on QQQ's daily RSI. So you have this going on. You have the bearish divergence over there. And then you also have it on the largest component of SPY and QQ, guys. I think this is a trap, all right? I'm going to openly say right now, I think you're going to have a decent-sized sell here. I don't know when that is going to start. I can't say that specifically. But you do have up until up here on 70 on your RSI. So if you do start approaching there's when I'm going to be ringing these warning bells like, hey, ding, 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 ding. There we go. All right, there, pull the freaking trigger. All right, this is your short trade staring you right at the face. Now, if you guys do want to literally have that exact same thing happening constantly, if you want, like, if you have a problem pulling the triggers, if you have a problem with hesitation, if you're sitting there hesitating when you see things on the charts, hey, I'm going to literally continuously let you guys know what is going on through my head. And I'm going to be pulling triggers, and you guys can see those triggers being pulled. All right. So if you guys are, if that sounds appealing to you, then there you go. Patreon. We'd love to have you in the community. All right. We are growing. We are up to, we're up to just about 60 members. All right. Active members. All right. There have been some cancellations, but I will say, all right, we had 3 cancellations. 3 people literally ended up coming back by, yeah, a few weeks went by. So, like, I'm going to be honest, guys. I am a believer in my product. I stand behind, I pretty much am the product. I'm going to be completely honest. But you're also getting a community of traders to go about trading with, all right? And then I also will be giving you the continuous index updates that come along. Obviously, you also get updates on the specific trade ideas, all right? But yeah, and then you also do get the midweek and the weekend update, which I actually just put a poll out over there on Discord. All right, so guys, if you're in there, just let me know. I mean, we're already talking about it, but are we going to be doing weekend and midweek videos, or are we going to be doing live streams? All right, because that is something that would definitely be a huge time saver, and that would allow me to get the information out to you guys immediately. Sorry, guys, here on public YouTube, the YouTube channel, I am not comfortable with going on a live stream just yet. We will work our way up there. All right, I promise. All right, but with what I'm doing here on the channel, I do think this is going to bring more growth to the channel. Also, you know, 2,000 people live stream in front of. I don't want to do that right now. All right, 60 people. I'll live stream in front of 60 people. There we go. We can chart together. So there's that. All right, but moving on into the charts. All right, I'm sorry I gave that quick little plug there. But there we go. All right, you do so far. It is 2:32 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so you still do have an hour and a half left in the trading session here. But SPY and QQ have tremendously decreasing volume here. All right, you did just see that one go red over here. Come over here, you have decreasing buy volume going on here. All right, I don't think volume is really going to play a huge factor into what we got going on here. But yeah, guess what, guys? We have the declining volume. And when you guys, volume like really is, it's a very important indicator. It literally shows you, okay, if you had increasing buy volume, then the buyers are going to try and get their way. The people took the positions this day. All right, so you had increasing buy volume this day, right? The people who bought on this candlestick, all right? If you have this, you know, you have a volume spike, all right, which it actually isn't on this day, but, you know, hypothetically speaking here, we'll go to the candlestick before, all right, because I made a mental mistake there, all right. But coming over here, all right, you have increasing sell volume, all right. You had increasing sell volume here as well, all right. Well, guess what? The people bought, like, you know, bought a puts in this day, who took shorts on this day, they took those because they thought they're going to be profitable, which suggests they're going to try and, like, you know, they're going to get their way tomorrow. All right, so if you're taking a sell on this day, you're clearly thinking it's going to be going lower. And if you have the volume that's supporting you, all right, if your side was the winning side there, then yeah, that side's probably going to win. That's just like naturally how it's going to work. All right, and then if you have this increasing buy volume like you had over here, yes, you made a new low there, but you had the increasing buy volume, which suggests that the people were taking positions this day. So even though you have a big fat red day here, well, it's a 0.63% red day. But guess what? It's followed by a big fat, almost 2% green candle over here the next day because you had, well, not because, but this was your indicator showing you that was likely going to be the case, that you were likely going to be taking above this high over here, or you're going to get that gap up the next day. Either way, the reason I say, like, hey, you're going to get the gap up or the gap down, but it's going to be a gap, and then, like, or you get, like, taken. In this case, it was increasing buy volume, so either the buyers are going to get their way with the gap up, or they're going to see this high get taken out, all right, and you're going to carry on, all right? That would be them getting their way. Well, guess what? You got the gap up and you got that, all right? And it's just more proof of concept, guys. This is why volume is a very important indicator. All right, let's move on. I know I just talked about that for a while now. All right, so you broke up past this trend line, all right? So that is going to be the focus of today, all right? SPX and SPY's trend line up here. So I had this zone here on SPX, and we'll go over the daily time frame here in a little bit. At the moment, everything just says doji candlesticks. All right, but I want to show you this going on right here. So you have this bearish divergence going on the SPX's CCI, and SPX does not have after hours, so it is going to, you know, when we see things on this chart compared to SPY, it's going to be more meaningful. But along with that, you are also coupled with a triple bearish divergence on here. And even if you do end up taking out this triple bearish divergence, you're probably not coming back up here to, you know, get back up. Like, it's setting up for a divergence. That's what I'm getting at. So I'm not going to be tricked by this thing. I definitely do think they're going to be selling this market off. That is a thing. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea. All right. Because I don't have that crystal ball that I've spoken about. I don't have it, guys. I don't. All right. But we do here on this channel, we do bring an order to the chaos, or at least we do our best to do so. I do think we do a very good job at doing so. If you guys do agree with me on that one, and you guys are finding value from this, maybe you're making money from this, hey, please support the channel with a like. That is the biggest way you can support the work that we provide for absolutely no cost to you here on this channel. All right. But over here on your daily CCI, guys, you're coming up to 400 again, and now your daily CCI is just about at overbought territory, which is stochastic peaking right up there. All right, so bringing it back over to what I was saying over here on QQ and Apple, all right? This hasn't formed the whole time. This bearish divergence on your R side, it just has not formed. You've had like little ones, like this one over here. You had a little one over there. But we're getting very close here to being back in overbought territory. So yeah, guys, I think this thing's going to be topping out soon, all right? Any like move up here for a new high is just going to be a divergent high. And that's how I'm going to be looking at this thing. Yes, we can see these things can play out for quite some time here. All right. But you didn't have what was going on the charts here back there. All right. Which is why I say, like, hey, I don't think this divergence is going to be burned through. I don't, because that does end up leading to, you know, rather impulsive moves if you burn these divergences. All right. But I don't think it's going to happen. Look at this bad boy, right? It literally has not happened the entire bear market since you hit your top, guys. This is literally the top where how I explained it. Now I record the midweek Patreon update last night just because I wasn't going to have time to make a detailed one today. So there was that. And in that, I showed you guys that, hey, this is just literally showing me that, hey, it's popping up here on the RSI, right as you're in overbought territory over here. All it's showing you is the big money, the people who can, like, CCI is a little indicator. RSI is the big indicator, right? CCI is one thing. RSI shows that someone with big pockets is unloading the freaking boat. All right. If you're getting a divergence like that going on, like we had over here, well, guess what? That's like the same thing we got going on right here. All right. So you can come up higher, but I do expect this to hold. So if you start peeking your head up here on your RSI over here, all right, I expect, like, yeah, you're very close to that top. All right. And just to show you guys what I was just talking about, all right, we had those two scenarios. This is over here on IWM, guys. I was saying this made absolutely no sense. There were 2 points here where I was saying, hey, it doesn't make sense. And now we came down here. Look at this. All right. Like, it made, you know, you were very likely going to start bouncing this day, and where we called that out. And then you came down and then you formed the bullish divergence. And then I'm like, oh, now it's extremely likely. And now you have the triple bullish divergence. And now again, yeah, all right, it's likely that you start again that bounce, all right? And I still think this thing can continue on up. But like I said, like, I think this is a trick out move. It's a fake out move, all right? This is like, it's a trap being set. Stage is being set. All right, I told you guys, all right, before I even saw this on QQQ or Apple, all right, before I saw that, I was still, the scenarios were the exact same. I was looking for a slight push up to then have a bigger sell, or I'm looking for a slight push down to then have a bigger rip. Right now, we're pushing up, all right? You, like, clear as day, have room to fall now on IWM. You have room to fall. We're going to come over here to DIA. DIA's oscillators have literally cycled back up. Do you see this? Like, what the freaking hey? All right, this is what I was getting at. You guys, trust in your boy, okay? I'm not going to get everything right. I promise. I can guarantee that one, all right? But I promise I will see things continuously that you're not going to find other places on YouTube, all right? I've been on YouTube for quite some time. I know the people who are in the financial space, all right? I don't see any, like, I don't care if it looks stupid. Like my TA over here, I don't care if it doesn't look like everyone else's. Do you think I could? That's like literally what makes my YouTube channel unique. All right. But I promise there are not other people calling out the detail that I have been calling out with this analysis. It's not broad analysis. It's very specific each and every day. All right. So if you guys do want these continuous insights, it's here on the channel. All right. You found your home. You found the place for you. All right. There you go. But yeah, like now you're up here. Look at where your CCI is here. Okay. Like, yeah, you can keep going up here, but it's exactly like I just said. Okay. QQQ is going to come up and it's going to make that divergent high. All right. SPX, guys. All right. We're going to actually come over here. I'm going to take it back to, my written update last night on Webull. All right. And if you guys do want to be a part of that as well and get that, again, more insight each and every night, that's literally just a very detailed, written update on the indices every single night. All right, well, Monday through Thursday, and then we get the weekly update on coming out every Saturday, which this Saturday, it actually might be. It might be that I have to get that out on Sunday. I'm not sure, though. We will see. We will see. Most of the time Saturday, though. So, yeah, I said if you bounce here on this trend line, then I think SPX and SPY are going to have I believe I said a false breakout. If not, they're going to hold their trend line. But I do believe I said false breakout. So far, we have this breakout. Is it going to be a false one? I don't know. All right, we're going to see. But here are my scenarios that I laid out last night. And now, like, guys, I'm not just observing what's going on the chart. All right, we are coming up with actionable insights, I guess we could say here. All right. But yeah, last night I said if you start bouncing off of here, because I mean it is very likely that VIX is going to start bouncing soon. I don't think you're just going to have an insane volatility crush here. All right, you could again. All right, you could, but I mean either way, I'm gonna stick to watching the charts. The charts don't troll me, and I despise being tricked. All right. I don't want to. I much rather just flow with the charts. I really much rather do so. All right. But scenario number one, you hold this false breakout on SPX and SPY, you come back down. All right. And there you get your decent sell. All right. Scenario number two, you break this trend line, you come back up and you test that. We're going to have to see what happens here, but that would be the scenario for, hey, maybe I'm completely wrong. All right. And maybe it is going to literally go like that. And then we would have to see what's going on down here. All right. But in the end, guys, no, I'm going to be completely honest. You're going to get a decent sized sell-off over here on QQQ regardless. All right. So even if you don't get that decent sized sell that I'm talking about right now, all right, over here on VIX, right, it's only going to be a matter of time until VIX starts to bounce. And you could see this, like it really has gotten completely crushed here. And it can be crushed for an extended amount of time just with what we got going on now and what I've been seeing in the charts. It doesn't make sense that that is going to be the case this time. All right, it really does not. But it can, all right, it can. I like I said earlier, I don't have a crystal ball. I have no idea what's going to be happening. But yeah, so far we are getting the buying pressure stepping in right here. Now over here on the hourly and 15-minute time frame, or over here on Mr. VIX, I typically like to wait for a 15-minute or hourly bullish divergence to pop up, to see that, hey, VIX is probably going to start bouncing, all right, which means the indices should start cooling off. Well, now you have a 1 hour bullish divergence on the RSI and the CCI, right as you came into VIX's trend line down here. All right. So that is, again, more fishy stuff, right? More, hey, we're just connected dots. That's all we're doing here on the channel. All right. You come over here to the 4 hour time frame, though, and you do see the CCI and stochastic all the way down here. And even if we don't end up getting, even if we don't get a massive spike, I don't care if a crash goes down right now, guys. I honestly don't think a crash is going to go down. But I will also say, like, hey, I'm just a guy who looks at the charts, all right? You come over here to QQQ, and a massive sell can go down right now, all right? We can get a crash. I don't think it's going to happen, but we can, all right? We can. Regardless, like what I was just saying, even if this decent-sized sell doesn't happen, we still likely end up getting a back test of this or a back test of this. We have not tested these things, guys. We haven't. All right, QQ is just continuing to go off to the races, all right? And again, with what I showed you here on the RSI, like if you keep doing this for a few more days, you're not only going to put in a divergent high over here on the CCI, all right? So now you have a triple bearish divergence going on as long as you don't have your CCI coming up over, what is this? Over 194, all right, 195, we'll say. All right, so as long as that doesn't happen, like, yeah, I mean, guys, like you could push up here, but it's going to literally just hammer into that bearish setup, right? So that is going to be that. But over here on the hourly time frame in QQ, you do have the bearish divergence already there, and you actually do over in the RSI as well. All right. But yeah, SPX has that coming right into this resistance zone. So what I am going to be looking for is a retest of this trend line here. All right. And that will be like, hey, we're going to have to see what happens. So what is the setup when we're coming back down there? All right. But as of right now, yeah, guys, all right, this thing does look like it is going to be cooling off. You come over here to the daily time frame. I already showed you guys, but over here on the CCI and stochastic, you're in overbought territory now. Everything has a lot of freaking room to fall. If you are going to have that pullback, now you have a lot of room to fall here on IWM. All right, last time the RSI was at even just, I think it was 41 over here, which now we're at 43, 41. All right, you fell from, where was it? It was this day over here, all right, down. It was like a $10 move, all right, $10 move there. So if you're gonna have a decent move down here, all right, a $10, like you're coming pretty close to this, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think a crash is going down now, but I think we're probably gonna see some craziness, all right. Yeah, guys, that's all I do here. I just connect the dots. I bring an order to the chaos, and if you guys enjoy that, then hey, follow along. I would love to have you here. All right, now let's look at SLV because this was something that someone ended up requesting over there. All right, so let's just move that bad boy up. All right, and then there's that. There we go. Those are just tickers I was just looking at yesterday. But over here, all right, SLV. We're gonna actually start off with the monthly time frame here. All right. Yeah, actually, I want to look at GLD too, though. All right. So GLD is actually rallying its butt off, and I really wanted to pull the trigger on a trade idea, and it was actually last week, and I didn't. And this is why, guys, like when you see the chart saying something, you kind of just pull the trigger, all right? Because when you hesitate, that's when mistakes tend to happen. You're not trading in the zone, all right? And that's where your mistakes are going to be, all right? This thing is likely going to end up pulling back, all right? And since this is the commodity trade, all right, I think SLV is likely also going to be doing the same. Now, you do see GLD and SLV. They look pretty similar there, but you do see GLD went for a ride, and it's just hanging up there. All right, SLV went for a ride recently, but just know that like this is going on as well. It's the same exact thing that's happening on GLD. You don't have a quadruple bearish divergence going on like you do over on GLD. I think it's quadruple. You have 1, you have 2, you have 3. All right, so triple. All right, which like, hey, all right, guys, like, oh, I don't know. I wanted to pull the trigger. All right, there will be gold trades. All right, there will. But SLV, guys, SLV over here on the daily time frame, you got that bearish divergence going on, and I want to point out that you do have this declining volume as you're literally ripping higher, guys. It's a trap. All right, I'm gonna say right now, it's a trap. People are buying into this whole, yeah, buy your silver, buy your gold, like the commodity trader, right? Because you know dollar's going to zero and stuff. You know everything's going to crap. All right. Well, I'm pretty sure that's what everything's running on right now. And eventually people are going to realize, oh, that's actually not the case. And the dollar's not going anywhere. But regardless of what I just said, the technical setup, this thing does suggest like, yeah, you're probably going to end up getting a rug pull at some point. And then we come down here and you literally have 2 gap fills still open. Those will act as magnets. We have a high of 1866 over here. So let's put that on the chart, 1866. And then you come over here and we have a high of 1911. All right, so 1911 right there, 1911. All right, hit OK. All right, so honestly, guys, if you're going to end up trading this thing, I would be using this gap fill as your target. All right, I don't know. I have not looked at SLV options. I've looked at GLD options. I know they move very slow. But there's still like, it's literally the same exact thing over on GLD, all right? The options move just like everything else that we trade. So, you know, no worries over there. But SLV, I imagine, you know, I imagine it's not so bad. Let's actually, here, let me pull up Weeble. Hopefully it doesn't try and sign me in real quick. If we can, then we could just literally just live look this up. Well, not live, all right? We're not on a live stream. So yeah, I mean, if you're targeting the 19 strike over there and you're buying, I mean, I would say the safe put on this thing would be the May 19. You know, you have the monthly OPEX there, and I just want to see myself, like, hey, if we do think it's coming down to 19, if I buy 20, all right, holy crap, these are so cheap, guys. This is ridiculous, all right? I'm going to actually be honest. You can consistently make money over here trading these commodity options, all right? Well, these are the ETFs, all right? These aren't the actual things, but they track silver and gold, so that is that. But yeah, guys, over here, like, these are honestly, like, not nearly as bad as I was thinking they were going to end up being. But yeah, honestly, you could play any of these. Off the top of my head, I would be going with the $21 strike here, all right? You could literally buy for 60 cents. By the time it's in the money, all right? Guaranteed it's at $100. But by the time it's actually in the money, it's going to be looking something like this, right? This is 50 cents of the money, so that's 116. Round up to 120 there, all right? There you go. You get your 100% gain, all right? Just by literally it coming down into the 2050, all right? But not the biggest mover. I'm going to be honest, guys. Over on the Patreon, we will not be trading SLV. I just don't want to do it. GLD, though, I will say I have traded that in the past, and it goes crazy, all right? That was crazy. All right, guys. So with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one. I actually, hang on. Before we do that, let me actually come over here to QQQ. I didn't show you guys what I wanted to point out, all right, on the lower time frames over here on QQQ. All right, you are rallying up into resistance here. All right, this is where you're selling stepped in. You can also, you know, you have that zone right there. And that's what I had my resistance zone as before. Now, I mean, I'm just like, obviously, if we rally up here, this is where I'm looking for sellers to step in right there where I just pointed out. All right. But I want to point this out. All right. So you have this, and I was pointing out that we had this consolidation range. It was a tightening range here. We had like a pennant going on. And you literally just kept making these lower highs and higher lows over here. All right. You come down from there, you hit a higher low, lower high, and then boom, you broke. So that's what I want to point out. So right here suggests that naturally we should start seeing rejection step in here at this previous high, which is happening right now. All right. That is exactly what's going on. But yeah, naturally, I'm expecting this low to be tested now that we have broken that. Or they could literally, guys, they could confuse the crap out of us. All right, they can. But I'm just going to say right now, trend is like supposed to be the most basic of basic. It's supposed to be, hey, someone doesn't need indicators. You can go look at trend. That is like, there are traders who just trade off trend. All right, so if they're doing this and messing up, so if we come up here and break this high here, all right, if we break this high, I'm going to say fuckery is going down, all right? Straight up, they are like, someone is messing with this, all right? They're trying to confuse the crap out of everyone before a big move goes down. Now, that is obvious. A big move is about to be going down, all right? You're either going up here, 322, or you're going to be breaking down out of this range, all right? You're coming back for this retest, right? That's what I personally, that's what I'm looking for. I'm retesting, looking for a retest of that zone, or at least this trend line over here, or at least the zone, and if not, the trend line over there. All right. But yeah, because you made that lower low already, I am naturally expecting this to hold, and I am expecting you to go down and test there. Now, if you go back down there and you make a higher high, or if you make a higher high here, maybe you come up here to 313.68, that resistance over there, that was your previous peak. All right. And then you come back down and make you hold this low. Maybe you know, you end up holding that and make your higher high. Then, you know, different story. But again, I'm going to say right now, right, there are just trend traders out there. Trend is not supposed to just confuse the crap out of everyone, all right? It's usually the factor of TA that is the most simple, all right? So the fact that they're doing this, they're trying to confuse people. That is what I'm getting at, all right? And like, but yeah, naturally, like if I showed you guys what I showed you guys this video, all right, guys? Like straight up, I'm expecting selling is going to be popping up. I don't know when that is going to be popping up, all right? I don't know. It is very likely going to be soon, like I showed you guys over here on SPY and SPX. I just show you guys what I'm going to be watching, all right? I'm looking for a retest down here of this trend line. We're going to have to see if buyers step back in. Obviously, if they don't step back in there, yeah, dude, you just had a fake move here, all right? A bull fake break out of this trend line. You're going to end up getting sucked right back into it. But yeah, guys, I think this is fake, which is why I'm not going to end up putting this target on the board, which would literally be the peak over here of 418.31, all right? And you could end up getting there, all right? I'm not saying you can't. You're literally breaking out. You don't have increasing buy volume here yet, but let's come over here on SPX, all right? And by the end of the day, like, guys, we're in power hour. We're about to be entering power hour. I wouldn't be surprised to see it, all right? But at the end of the day, guys, we're just literally going to watch the charts and, you know, we're going to go off of them. All right. So with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.